Well, this is a view that you don't see quite often. Hello lovely people and welcome to the ultimate tweeter shootout. In this video, I'm going to show you all of these tweeters. We're going to talk a little bit about each one of them so that you would know what is going to be included. Before we start this video, as always, I would like to thank, and today I want to thank everybody that sent all of these tweets. Only a few of them are mine, but all of them are sent to me and almost all of them are gonna go back to their rightful owners. So this is just like a bird's eye overview of all the tweets I included. We have a very good selection of literally everything that you can think of, from extreme budget to quite a premium, from small to big, soft dome, hard dome, AMTs, planar, we have some horns, we have literally everything that we need to compare the tweeters, because this shootout, if you remember, it's not about finding the best overall tweeter that can do literally everything, but just to see how they compare. In this video, I will not talk about any measurements yet. There's gonna be a next upcoming video that I'm gonna show you how the measurements were done, all the equipment, and what exactly I measured. Just a heads up, all the measurements are done, so I kind of cheated and I kind of already know how most of them perform, because I was really rushing with those measurements because I don't really have time. Today is a Saturday and I'm filming this almost the last minute. So this video is going to be very long because we have 71 tweeters overall, and if I'm going to spend 1 minute per tweeter, that's over an hour just reviewing everything. So what I'm going to try to do is just to show you the tweeter, because I will want to use the footage for my b-roll in the upcoming videos. We're going to discuss how it looks like, how it feels like in the hand, and what kind of tweeter it is. We will not touch any TS parameters. We'll not talk about anything technical. This is just, I want to show you what we have and I want to show you how everything looks like. Okay, so this is going to be your view for the rest of the video. I do have a cheat sheet and list. If you want to stop, you can pause and see all the model numbers of all the tweeters. This is for me just to remember, because I don't know all the model numbers by heart of them. So I'm going to have this on the side just to tell you what we're looking at. And we're going to start from the very top corner and we're going to go like through everything. This is more or less alphabetically. I did switch up a few tweeters just to make more sense. So we're going to start on the top left corner, and A always starts with an Alpine. So we do have this Alpine Type R tweeter. It comes from, I believe, a 3-way set or a 2-way set. It's a Type R2, which is the new one that was released, I don't know, last year probably. So it does come in a plastic mounting. It does have these threads that probably you can stick it in and tighten an external screw. I think there's supposed to be a screw, but it was not included. It is plasticky. It looks very cheapy. Inside, we have this swivel that you can aim it, which is amazing. So if you install this tweeter kind of in a pillar wherever, you can still aim it to have it pointed directly at you. This is an amazing addition. Inside, it looks like, I'm not sure because I didn't look at any specs of any tweeters, so this is just my initial impressions. It looks like a ceramic tweeter, but it is a hard dome, so ceramic or aluminum. And we do have quite a lot of wire with connections already made. Next one is one of 3 Alpine tweeters that was sent to me by a local guy in the UK. He sent quite a lot of old tweeters as well. So this is, according to my notes, DD drive. The model number is DDC R13F. I am not familiar with this tweeter at all. It is tiny, it is old, because I think DD drive is just a very old line in general. Plastic housing, very nice grill with Alpine logo, and quite stiff wiring. That's all what I can say about this. Now, the next 2 tweeters are supposed to be the SPX line, which is, I think, the Pro line, I think before the Alpine Type X, or maybe it's an X series, I'm not sure. So one is a smaller 1 inch and the other one is a bigger 2 inch. Now one of them, I'm not sure which one, apparently is a fake one, not genuine. I think it might be the 2 inch. So this is 2 inch, as you can see inside, it's a ring radiator with a face plug. So this tweeter, I think, originally was made by ScanSpeak, I believe. And apparently it's very, very good. So outside is plastic, mesh grill, and from the other side, this feels plasticky, and we have very small pigtails. And even the logo, if you can see, it is different. This is like inside the resin, and this is outside. So which is fake, which is genuine, I'm not sure. Next in line is Audio Ace Club. So this is, I think it's an SPL brand. This was sent to me by Brandon from Custom Speaker Pods. He sent quite a few SPL brands like DS18 and all the others. This thing feels very premium. Metal, this ring is metal as well, so you can remove it, put the tweeter in and tighten it up. I really cannot say anything about this brand or anything because I don't know this brand. I'm not aware of its existence at all, but very shiny, very metally. It looks very, very nice. Next one is Audio Dynamics Master Series M1. This was sent to me by Audio Dynamics. It is a very shallow tweeter, very small, you can see. Audio Dynamics M1 Master. This grill, it comes off like that, and you see something like similar to SB Acoustics, just a nice soft dome tweeter. We have this grill that is nicely machined, and this rubber kind of gasket ring that goes around it, and then this goes on top, and you have a very shallow tweeter with a pigtail as well, which is clearly marked red and black. Well, the next we're gonna start with the D and Dayton. So we do have quite a lot of Dayton drivers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in total. Now these ones, which is actually this one, is Dayton Audio AMT Mini 8. And this one is a fake one from China. They do look very similar, not identical, not the same, but very similar. So we can see the difference is that this one has screws. This one does not have any screws. This one is a little bit recessed. This is totally flat. This is the genuine, and this is the fake from China. And from the other side, they look almost identical. So the interesting difference is you can see these two screws, one here and one here. The fake one has the holes, but doesn't have the screws. But this bar is the same, connections are the same, and the fake one has a little bit of glue residue from the inside. But the faceplate, it looks kind of the same. So it's going to be very interesting to see and compare how the fake one goes against the genuine one, and maybe the fake one is even better. Okay, the next one in line is a big boy from Dayton. This is Dayton AMT 2 and 4. So 4 is 4 ohms and 2 is just AMT. 2 is just the model number. Made in China. This thing is heavy because the faceplate, look at the thickness of it. And this is pure metal. This is quite chunky, quite big. It is an AMT, as you can see. And again, in regards to the price, I'm not going to comment about prices at all at the moment because I don't want the price to influence just in general what we see. But it feels very, very premium, very, very thick metal and very heavy. So big boy. The next one is Dayton AMT Pod -4. So -4 again is 4 ohms. And this is a pod AMT. So I do believe you could remove this or maybe not. I had these exactly the same fake ones from China. However, I got rid of them. So unfortunately, I cannot compare it. So very, very small, plasticky. These are very cheap as well. And again, the AMT portion is tiny. How they're gonna perform, I have no idea. Well, actually, I know, but I'm not gonna tell you. But the only thing that we can kind of predict that they will need to be crossed very, very high. The next in line, Dayton AN25F-4. Again, 4 ohms. This, you can remove it like this. So it's plasticky. It looks cheap. But again, Dayton stuff is cheap, but we know that it is good. So we can expect quite good performance of it. But very, very simple looking. Nothing stands out. This goes in there and then it kind of twists in place just to stay like that. And we do have a pigtail. So very simplistic looking tweeter. This one is very, very cool. This is, if I'm gonna zoom in, Dayton ND16A-6. So this is a, I guess, 6 ohm tweeter, and 16 goes for 16 millimeters dome. So this is a soft dome, and you can see, look at the size of it. It's a baby tiny tweeter. What kind of performance we can expect out of it, I have absolutely no idea, but like literally this can fit anywhere. You can make a line array of like 20 of these tweeters. Tiny. Next one is Dayton ND25TA-4. So this is a 25 millimeter tweeter. I do believe this is a hard dome because it doesn't look like, it looks like metal from inside. And this one looks a little bit weird because like it is small. These fins, I would imagine, is for cooling the actual neodymium motor. The ND, it goes for neodymium. The tweeter part itself, you can see it's small. It's like just till here and goes inside. So if you would remove this cooling, you would remove the cooling capabilities, the heat dissipation, but it would be much smaller. And it has a massive plastic ring around it. Why? No idea. It could be much smaller. One thing that I want to show you in advance is these two tweeters. This is Vifa and Peerless, and you can see that they share kind of the same exact motor cooling technology. Is it copy-paste? I'm not sure, but like from here, if there would be no stickers and the shape would be the same, they would look almost identical. We're gonna have a look at those a bit later. Now this is something exotic. This is from the UK guy that sent me quite a lot of things. This is Infinity Emit tweeter, EMIT. So this is TM. It's their kind of branded name for this type of tweeter. And this is a planar magnetic tweeter. I think, at least. It is very old. Not sure how old it is, but you can see totally flat. Outside is plastic. Inside is metal, screws, so we could potentially take it apart, but we're not gonna. A little bit pigtails, and you can see this is old. This is very old, but it looks kind of cool. Next in line is the same kind of type of tweeter, planar magnetic, but this is a cheap Chinese copy that was sent to me by Frank probably more than a year ago. I did show this in a couple of videos already. It's like, I think 10 or 15 pounds for a pair, glued in. Plasticky, you can literally touch the actual film and you can see it has little like metal strips inside the film. One thing that I can say that this tweeter is highly dependable on angling. If you angle it a little bit differently, the response totally changes. So one of those. Now we're gonna go into some AMTs. This is a AMT from China, no name. I have no idea about the model number. It was sent to me by Frank again. And I think Dayton makes something similar, but this looks chunky. It feels quite heavy in the hand. It feels a little bit premium. And it does have quite a big portion of the actual cone area, if we can say. Next in line is my latest purchase. This is a Temu AMT. Directly from Temu. I paid £33 for it. I can tell the price because I paid it. It looks quite cool. It says STA Air Motion Tweeter, or on this side Set Audio, whichever the brand is. 4 ohm, 15 watts, no model number, no nothing. We do have batch number, serial number, but no actual model number. Yeah, made in China. Now it does look cool. It does look very interesting. I think Steg makes something that looks very similar. It might be a little bit bigger, but it's gonna be interesting to see what we can get for the money. Now, one thing to note that out of the pair that arrived, one is already dead. So I tried it, it doesn't work, so I'm gonna get a refund probably. Usual China stuff, but it looks very nice and it feels premium all metal. Now, this tweeter is probably the one that people requested the most. Mondorf U60S PS 1.1. So this is the PES sound version of the U60 tweeter that is sold by Mondorf. So this is sold exclusively by Peter from PS Sound. You can get it from his website, or I think Nika Picella sells it in America. And like looking at it, it looks ugly. It looks extremely unconventional. No idea how to mount it. Usually people make like 3D printed mounts for them. It is very heavy, very chunky for its size, so probably all of the back is just pure magnet. And Mondorf has a few versions of this. They have a bigger version, and I do believe they have a smaller version as well. Comes with this pigtail. I'm not sure if this was done by somebody or this is how they sell it with the XT connectors, so cannot comment on that. Like the build quality, I don't know, it doesn't look like super premium. Let me show you like this. Again, I'm not sure about this wiring, who does it. Is it from the factory or is done like a blob of glue? Like for example, these corners, you can see this corner a little bit sticks out. I can have my nail on it. This one is totally flush. Same at the bottom as well. Like you can see here, the faceplate, there's a little gap here. Now, I'm not trashing it. I'm just saying what I see. So I don't know if it's all the Mondorf drivers assembled like that or just this. No idea, but there you go. Mondorf. Now, next three drivers are DS18 from Brandon. He sent me a bunch of them. So this one that doesn't have a label is EXL-TW 2.5. So this is like 2.5 inch, I would imagine. This looks metal, but it sounds very hollowy. Not sure why. Even when you undo this ring, this sounds hollow like metal. It doesn't sound like very thick metal. So I don't know, but metal from the outside, this plastic grill, and I have no idea what kind of cone is this. It looks transparent. Is it soft? Is it hard? Not sure, but it looks like an eye. Second from DS18 is TX1R, and it looks like this. All plasticky, looks very, very cheap. One thing that I can say, because I saw the measurements, when you choosing a tweeter, do not choose a tweeter with anything like this in the front, because it's gonna mess up everything. And yeah, it looks kind of cool, but my little one likes this. She said it's one of the prettiest looking tweeters just because of the colors and everything. So it's just to attract your attention. And the last one from DS18 is ZXI1T. Again, plastic. I do believe this can be taken out. Yeah, it does move. So there's a screw. You can remove it to make it a little bit smaller. And again, these thingies on the grill, it's not good. You don't want this. But it looks okay. It looks nice. It doesn't shout a lot, but feels cheap, feels plasticky. Probably it is cheap as well. This one. This is apparently Dean Audio Becker. I have no idea what kind of brand it is because I'm not familiar with Dean Audio at all. We have a number. It is plastic. It does move a little bit. So this is extremely old. So the guy sent me a pair of them with the Alpine tweeters and the others, and one of them was dead on arrival, didn't work, too old, it was a little bit rusty, but this one is like this. However, the grill, if I can show from closer, is very, very fine and very thick. It doesn't obstruct, but it's very thick. Like, look, I cannot push it in. It's so thick. This is made like a tank. It feels like a tank. Does it behave and measure like a tank? We're gonna see. This is another Dean Audio. In the notes I have Mellow David. I think it's a copy. I'm not sure what that means. Maybe Mellow David is a designer. I didn't look into it, but there you go. This is how it looks like. All silvery, all metal, premium feeling, heavy, very chunky. And these wires are, I don't know, they do feel like they're solid core because look, they're not flexible at all. So I personally don't like it, but there's nothing wrong with this. So one of those. Now this one, I think is probably the cheapest one. This is from Edge, UK company, and the model number is EDBX1PT. PT is a piezo tweeter. Inside, you can see the orange. Yeah, there we go. That's a piezo element. This was picked by my little one as her favorite tweeter, favorite looking one of those, because it looks very nice. Now, when I measure this tweeter, you're going to be in for surprise, good or bad, I'm not going to say, not to ruin it. And I'm not sure if it's the grill or its actual piezo element, but it looks cool, but it is very, very cheap and it weighs literally nothing. So I think it could be literally like this, probably a third of the size than it actually is. Next one is another edge tweeter. So this model number is EDS 1SQTN-E1. So SQ probably would mean something like an SQ tweeter. It is a soft dome. You can see inside, it's very difficult to see. Inside there's a soft dome, and you have this kind of mounting that actually acts like a horn. So what we can expect from this is very high efficiency and quite poor directivity, because all the horn loaded tweeters, they have very poor off axis, because if you imagine, like when you go like 60 degrees off axis, you cannot see the dome. Everything goes into the actual wall of the tweeter. No pigtails attached, just small little connectors. And these things you cannot put like a typical terminal that you would have on something like this, like I usually use. So you need to solder the wires on it. And again, this one was picked by my little one as one of her favorites as well, just because of very nice color. Next one is one of the Focals. Unfortunately, I don't have anything else from Focal. I know a lot of people ask for beryllium and all the premium stuff, blah, 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 but nobody sent anything. The only thing that I have is this. This is Focal Axis series. So it comes from a 3-way set. This thing is tiny. TN43, maybe it's a model number, I'm not sure, but this is just from Axis. So it does have a passive capacitor attached. I didn't use this, and it looks like this. Again, very, very tiny with plastic one grill, and it looks like an inverted hard dome tweeter. Next one in line is Genesis audiophile tweeter. Now, I don't have a model number, but it wasn't provided, so I think that's what it's called, Genesis audiophile. Genesis is a UK brand that probably is most well known by making amplifiers. I don't see them making any speakers at the moment, but probably it was like back in the day, because this thing is old. You can see the grill is almost rusted, so how well this is a representation of the actual performance, I'm not sure. This comes off. We have machined aluminum, probably acts as a heatsink. Very, very old bubbly blobby glue, probably assembled by hand, not sure. Very stiff wire, probably just from old age. Genesis audiophile. Next one is Ground Zero. The model number is GZNT22SQ. This was lent to me by a local guy that I tuned his car a few times. I like the look of this. So Ground Zero, they do make speakers, I think it's called Aerospace or whatever, that has this kind of back, kind of very similar. There might be a cover of it for it, I'm not sure, because this looks like something was taken off. This is definitely soldered on by the owner, but it looks very, very nice, very small, and in general, very nice looking tweeter. Next one is Helix i5. So this is from a component set, but they do a la carte, so they do sell tweeters separately. I do have their 6.5-inch mid-bass drivers, and we're gonna do a full review of those. This shall I spoil it? It did surprise me when I measured it, because I didn't expect this performance out of this tweeter. You can remove this screw and it comes off, and it's even smaller than this. This thing is tiny. I do believe it looks like a ceramic dome or a metal. Probably metal, not ceramic. I would prefer that would be totally black, so it would be kind of invisible. But I like how it looks like. The form factor, everything, in general, very nice looking tweeter. Next one is Hertz. A lot of people ask me about Hertz Melee Legend, Melee Pros, because a lot of people use those tweeters. Unfortunately, this one is not the Melee series, it's the HT25. So this is more from an SPL side, because Hertz make quite a lot of SPL stuff as well. Very simple, plasticky outside, mesh grill with a little logo, pigtails, small, nice looking tweeter. Next one is a hybrid audio. Now, I am not 100% sure about the name of this tweeter because when the guy sent it to me, he said that this is a Clarus tweeter. However, online, when I looked at the pictures, it looks kind of the same as a Unity. So is it Unity? Is it Clarus? I have no idea. Plasticky, small, looks very cheap. No idea how much it costs. I think this might be removable, but it just swivels and it looks cheap because it's not as tight as the Alpine that I showed you before. It just goes all over the place. But there you go, one of the hybrid audio tweeters. The other hybrid audio tweeter is the premium one, L1 Pro R2 Hybrid Audio Technologies. This looks and feels extremely premium. It has this ring that quite a lot of different tweeters have. Hybrid audio has this color which is pink, I don't know, pinkish, purple-ish. So the Lagacha series has the same on the mid-ranges, probably mid-bass as well. This is a ring radiator with a metal face plug you can see inside. And this is plastic. The back is plastic and this top is metal. Very nice flush mounted, so you can, when you remove this, it mounts like this, very, very flush, very nice. Next one is Illusion Audio Carbon. So I was sent these by Motorola from India directly. I was sent 6.5-inch mid-bass, which I reviewed, 3.5-inch mid-ranges, and these as well. These are supposed to be beryllium tweeters, and according to my measurements, they are beryllium because they do measure very, very high. We have this golden kind of dome, very, very flat design. Doesn't take a lot of space. What I don't like about this is the wire. It's super thick, it's very rigid, and it's super unnecessary. You can see Illusion Audio, but in general, nice looking tweeters. Now the next two are kicker tweeters. So one of them is KS series, which is this golden one, and the KC series, which is the silver one. The KS is kind of mixed between metal and plastic. The outside is metal and these look plastic, and the CS, this is CS, I made a mistake, not KC, is all plasticky, feels very, very cheap, very simple. You can remove this, you can remove this, and it becomes much smaller. Inside, can't really see, but behind this grill there's another plastic kind of thing sticking out just to protect the dome. It's totally unnecessary, but there you go, two kicker tweeters. Next one is kind of interesting. So this is MB Quart QTD25, a very, very old tweeter. It does come with various mountings. I didn't use any of them. Metal dome, has this interesting protective grille, looks to be made out of metal with some pigtails, made in Germany. Very small, very tiny. Next one is O2 Audio, the brand that I didn't know that existed. It looks cool, to be honest. Very, very slim design, very basic, no logos, absolutely nothing. Maybe you can remove it from this one, not sure. Made in the USA, probably old school brand, not aware of them at all. Very small pigtails. And now you won't be able to remove it because the pigtails go into the actual housing. So yeah, O2 Audio. No idea about the model number. Now, after O2, we have another O tweeters, which are OEM. So from OEM, it's going to be very interesting to see how some premium and some basic OEM tweeters perform against something aftermarket. So this one is from BMW. This says Harman Kardon Surround BMW 3 Mod blah, blah, 2020. So from BMW. This one, according to my notes, is from Yukon Denali 2021. OEM tweeter, very small, very tiny, made in China. This was sent to me by Brandon, Custom Speaker Pods. He sent me, I think, 4 OEM tweeters. So this is from that one. This one is from Sierra Denali 2006. Supposed to be a Bose tweeter. Very, very old. It had to bypass this capacitor to have a full range. I didn't remove it out of the housing. There we go. This is another Bose, supposed to be from a GM vehicle, 2016 and newer ones. So plug and the actual tweeter. Ferrite magnet, not neo, to make it cheap, 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 cheap. And the last one OEM is JBL J3, and apparently it's from Camry 2018-24. So it does look like a soft dome tweeter with protective grille and this foam that actually probably goes into the factory mounting. JBL Premium. Next to we have Pioneer tweeters. This one is TS-A301TW. Metal dome. In the beginning I thought this is a piezo tweeter, but it's not a piezo, it's just I think aluminium. Very, very cheap, very budgety with max power on the packaging, made in Vietnam. Very, very, yeah, super cheap looking and super cheap feeling Pioneer tweeter. On the other side of the spectrum is this Pioneer, which is the most unique tweeter that I've ever seen. This is an old school. The model number is TS-V017A. And here we can see Carrozzeria. So this is a horn-loaded tweeter that you cannot see inside. Very heavy. The finish is not that premium. This is plastic, and this is metal ring. There is a mesh inside as well. We do have these mountings because you're not going to mount this into a custom A-pillar. Tabs for connections, positive, negative, and yeah, a lot of people say it looks like a turbine or something. This is, yeah, the most unique tweeter that I have ever seen. What we can expect from this is super high sensitivity. It's like a pro audio tweeter where they have like 100 dB. And I would imagine extremely poor off axis, because you turn it off axis, you get literally nothing. So we will see. Next in line is Power Acoustic NB18. This is a piezo tweeter. This is the worst tweeter that I've ever measured and I've ever saw. I did already feature it in a few different videos, and this is an example how an extremely poor tweeter performs. So we're gonna have that. Next one from Brandon. This is PRV TW100SD4. PRV SPL brand, 50 watts RMS, PRV audio. This metal ring feels very premium. It is quite thick metal, very nicely made. We do have this, I don't know if you can see, 3 lines in the grill that are kind of pushed out, and this is from the logo, PRV. So nice overall looking tweeter, very good feel, but again, SPL brand. Ooh, we will see how it performs. Next one in line is Musway MG6.2T. It is a tweeter from their MG line. They have MG mid-ranges, MG mid-basses. I did review this tweeter on my channel. I do have a review of the mid-ranges as well. Very simple looking, very kind of budgety, £100 tweeter, because I know the price. And what I like about this tweeter the most is not the tweeter, but the actual wire. This is silicon wire that is super, super soft, extremely flexible. If everybody would do these wires, I would be so happy. It feels very, very nice. But again, nice looking, simple tweeter. Now we're gonna come to the R, which is the Recoil tweeters. This is a Recoil RDT1, which is a ceramic dome tweeter. Metal housing. You can remove the screw and remove the tweeter to make it even smaller. The standing out feature of this is the actual grill, laser cut, very, very nice looking, like snowflakes. This tweeter was picked by my wife as the best looking tweeter of them all, just because of this mesh. It looks very nice, it feels very premium, and same silicon wiring as the Musway, but not as soft, not as flexible, but very, very nice tweeter. The second from Recoil is the premium version, RPT28. Now this might be a pre-production unit or something, because you can see here it says hi-fi rear chamber tweeter. It should be rear chamber. Impedance 4 ohms, RMS 25 watts. This feels and looks extremely premium. Super nice grill, very, very shiny, chrome plated, I would imagine. This is recessed for the wire, so you're not gonna pinch it in when you're gonna mount it. It looks very nice, not sure how much it costs and how it performs. We're gonna see. Now, Recoil was very nice to send me some bullet tweeters as well. So these are not horn loaded, not necessarily. We kind of maybe can say that they're horn loaded, but these are typical bullet tweeters. One of them is a little bit smaller. The model number is TW2550, and the other one is a big boy, RLT250. What we can expect from these is super high sensitivity, probably close to 100 dB. Again, quite poor off axis because same like with the horn loaded tweeters, and it's going to be very interesting to see and to compare. This one is fully metal. It does have a premium feel to it. Again, we have these tabs that I really don't like because you need to solder to them. It is mounted with some bolts, so I would imagine if it blows up and you have like a replacement diaphragm, you can replace it. This one has a metal outside and this top is plastic. It is something similar to, was it Base Face Tweeter that I did a review of? That you can replace the inner diaphragm as well if you burn it, very easy. But this one, it doesn't look like you can unscrew it. Super Bullet Tweeter. Yeah, two of those, very nice. Next one in line is Rogue Audio R1TKS. I am not familiar with the brand at all. I didn't know that it existed. It was sent to me by Brandom Custom Speaker Pods. It does look premium. It does feel premium. All metal made. The actual dome itself, it looks to be a little bit transparent, similar to this one, DS18. This is totally transparent. This is a little bit transparent. Not sure about the material, but it looks very nice. I would imagine it's an SPL brand because Brandon sent me everything from SPL. Now we came to the section where we have like home audio tweeters. So this is SB Acoustics, ScanSpeak, Seas. We're gonna start with this small little baby. This is my personal one. I bought it for the shootout, SB Acoustics, SB21 SDCN. There are a few different versions of this tweeter. One of them is a ring radiator, and this is a just soft dome tweeter. I bought it specifically because on paper, it had extremely good off-axis response, where it just goes up to like 20K plus minus 5 dB, I think. So we will see. Very small, tiny compared to the big brother and my favorite tweeter, SB29 RDNC. So this is RD is a ring radiator. There's the same version for a normal typical dome. This is a very high sensitivity, very good performing tweeter. You can cross it low. I use this in my system for a couple of years and I always recommend this because of the price. Now, the size difference is massive. The 29 is much bigger than the 21. So if you cannot fit this 29, just get a ring radiator from a smaller series and you would be super happy. Now this beast, this is SB26STAC. It really is not fair to include this tweeter with all of those, because when I contact Seas, for example, they offer to send me a big, massive tweeter, and I said it's not fair because it's gonna demolish all of the car audio tweeters. So these type of tweeters, they are ferrite, big booties, big, thick metal faceplates. It's super premium, super heavy, super big. Probably you would not install this in a car. However, I think it's very good to have one of these, at least one, to see what they can do and why they're so big. Like, why would you even consider this, and why people in home audio always use something big as this? So one of those. Next in line is ScanSpeak. So ScanSpeak tweeters are known worldwide to be, people say, one of the best tweeters. So this one is the D3004/606200. This, I do believe, it's a brand new release tweeter that came out very recently. The standing out part of it is this cone. Do you see this little square with, I don't know, is it a different material? Is it differently made? But it does look very different. So it's going to be very interesting to see. It is plastic and it is big, it is very deep. It's not practical to mount it in a very skinny A-pillar. However, Scansby quality, probably you cannot beat it. We will see. Now we have 3 Sayas tweeters that were sent to me directly from Sayas. One of them is this. This is a Prestige line, 27 TFF and CG and some more numbers. This is, I think it's quite budget tweeter. I think it's like £30 or something, 35. Very small. There's a center screw that you can screw it in. In general, very nice looking tweeter with big mesh. The other ones is from the newer Lotus series. So this one is PT27F, and that's the number, 6 ohm tweeters. This has a finer mesh, but they look almost identical. So the actual dimensions, kind of the same. They look kind of the same. It's just the mesh that is different, and the dome, like I can see the dome is different as well. It looks like this has a little bit smaller dome than this. This has a bigger one. But yeah, 2 of these. And this is a more premium of the Lotus series, which is the RT27F. So from outside, they look the same. However, the motor structure is totally different. This one has, you can see, a much bigger booty for probably better cooling, better power handling, and probably a bigger tweeter, can play lower. We will see. So Sayas Lotus series. Then this one of the latest additions, this is a Steg tweeter, but not the MSS or like premium versions. This is a bit more budget, ST650C. So this is from, I would imagine, a component series. What does it say? 25 RMS, 6 ohm tweeter, 1 kilohertz to 30 kilohertz. Quite premium feel, premium look. Looks to be... It feels very light for some reason, like you would expect it to be a bit more heavier in this form factor, made out of metal. Big mesh grill. Looks very nice. One of the Steg tweeters. Now, if we're coming to the S letter, we cannot do S without stereo integrity. These were probably, this one was the most requested tweeter of them all. And stereo integrity now has 2 tweeters. So the bigger version is the M25, and the smaller one is recently released M22. So this is a more budget version. It is cheaper than the M25. Everybody knows this one. A lot of people compare this to the new Sundown tweeter, which is not fair because it's a totally different tweeter. They look maybe very similar, but I want to say nothing alike. Made from metal, metal ring, black glossy, looks very premium, looks very nice. I personally don't like these. I would prefer a pigtails like this. I don't like these big massive connections on a tweeter. Mid-bass, mid-ranges, maybe, but not a tweeter. But yes, metal looks very nice. This newer one, the more budget-friendly version, is plastic. The grill is metal, but the actual outside is plastic. S, stereo integrity, nothing else. One little note about this tweeter. When Nick sent me this, even on the box, it's labeled as a prototype. So maybe Nick can pitch in and tell us if this is going to be exactly the same as you can buy already now, or there was done a revision and something was changed. But as a heads up, this is labeled as a prototype. Silicone wiring, which I like, not as soft as the Musway, but very nice. If you break it, it's going to be an issue, but hopefully you're not going to break it. What I kind of don't like is the difference between the finish of the grill and the actual outside plastic, because you can see a big contrast. Again, prototype, maybe this is changed, whereas in this one it is different as well, but it's not that noticeable. So to stereo integrity. The second most requested tweeter is the Stevens Audio. Everybody was messaging me about this tweeter. This feels very, very premium from Eric Stevens, that has very cool mid-bass drivers, and he has this tweeter. This is a soft dome. It is horn loaded a little bit, very similar to this one. kind of almost the same design, it's just the outside is very different. All made from metal apart from the back. The back is plastic and we have these screw terminals, which is nice because you have these grooves to feed the wire in, and you just stick it in, screw it in, and it's nice. This ring, just to put it on. Very nice tweeter. Is it going to perform to everybody's expectations? We're going to see. This one is an interesting one. This is not really a tweeter. However, I still decided to include it. It was sent by the same UK guy that sent all the Alpine tweeters. This is Tectonic. I do believe the model number is TEBM 35C10. You can see it here. So this is not really a tweeter. This is more like a wideband, because it does have suspension, you can see. It does have a spider. It's like a normal speaker, but tiny. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this performs and how it compares to normal tweeters, because size-wise, it's kind of the same as a tweeter. Next one in line is US Amps Timber Series. US Amps were kind enough to send me a 3-way set with 8-inch mid-bass, 4-inch mid-range, and this tweeter to test out. That test is coming in the future when I'm going to do kind of 8-inch mid-bass shootout. But here we have the tweeter. This thing is bloody massive. It's thick, it's very chunky, it's made out of metal, it is heavy. I don't like the wires because they're very stiff, but again, it's just my personal thing. It looks premium, it feels premium. A lot of people commented about this grill that it will affect the sound and it might impact it negatively. I tried to remove it. I couldn't, and I didn't, because I didn't want to damage the actual pretty looking thing. So another note is that I will test the tweeters how they come from factory. If there's a grill, we're gonna measure it with a grill. If it's without the grill, we're gonna measure it without the grill. But very nice looking tweeter. How it performs, we will see. Next, we have a few 3 different tweeters from Vibe. So Vibe is a British brand that is similar to Edge. They do have SPL subwoofers, and it is mainly SPL oriented brand, but they do have quite a few SQ things as well. So one of these is this kinda SQ oriented tweeter. This is Vibe Black Air. So Black Air is a series. The model number is BA1TWV4, so the 4th revision. And it is small metal premium feeling tweeter, silicone wiring, which I like, and it's small, it's nice. The dome, it is transparent a little bit, so similar to whichever the other 2 we had before. The second from Vibe is the Sven. I think it's called Sven series. It's not Kven, so I don't know. I call it Sven. And this is probably the most SQ driver that they make, I would imagine. It has an interesting shape, kind of tapered. All metal, all around, soft backing. Not sure why. Silicone wires, big mesh grill, and there's another little grill underneath. You can see these kind of spikes sticking out, so kind of double grill, if you will. Very premium feeling, a very nice looking tweeter. The last one from Vibe is Vibe Slick. The Slick series is much more budget friendly. I think they're like £25, and they do look plasticky, they do look and feel very cheap, but again, it's very interesting to see how they will perform. Soft dome, I would imagine, and this plasticky grill on top. Now, these 2 are kind of similar and different. The difference is from the outside shape and the form. One is a little bit horn loaded, the other one is a bit more flat and square. However, when you look online, sometimes you're gonna find like Vifa and Peerless, I don't know, they have maybe the same factory, maybe one bought the other, but because sometimes you can find this one or this one, I don't remember, like under both names. So Vifa and Peerless with the same number, because even the numbers are kind of the same. This is BC25SC15 and this is BC25SC08. So yeah, you can comment down below if you know something about these companies. These are 2 that I mentioned before when I showed you one of the Dayton drivers. That's Neo motor with cooling. You can see kind of the same cooling, and soft dome This is a bigger dome. You can physically see it's a bigger one. And this is a smaller one that is a little bit horn loaded. These are quite cheap, I think, like 25 pounds each. I think, not sure. This was bought from Willys Hi-Fi. This is a site that sells raw drivers in the UK. And there we go, 2 of these. And the last one is Vifa NE19 VTS 04 forum driver. There's a bigger one, I think it's an E24 or 25, but it looks exactly the same like this one. It just has a little bit bigger dome and just bigger in general. So these, I think you cannot buy them anymore. Maybe you're gonna find them online, but this is a tiny little thing. But these are well regarded as very good tweeters. So we will see how it's gonna measure and perform. Plastic, and cheap. But with home audio drivers, you cannot correlate the price with performance because they are cheap, they are budget, but they do perform very nice. And this is kind of the end. So I hope you're going to be excited for this shootout as much as I am, because I have so much data. And in the next video, I will show you how the measurements were done, what equipment did I use, and I'm going to introduce the actual data, and then we're going to analyze. So this series is going to be quite long. I will make a lot of videos about different parameters. We're going to compare them. But the main thing that I would like you to take from all of this shootout, and I'm going to repeat it in every single video, is not to find the best tweeter, but to compare them and see how they perform. Because if you have this as your best tweeter, where are you going to install it? If you're gonna find this as your best tweeter, this is so expensive that very few people can afford it. If you're gonna find this as the best tweeter and you don't like the look, are you gonna use it? So you know what I mean. Every tweeter has a different purpose. It was designed to accomplish very different things. It's like anything in life. You have selection, you have variety, you have the freedom of choice, and you should choose the best tweeter that suits your specific install, your specific purpose, and your specific needs. That's it for this one. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.